If you're a die-hard Raider fan, I want you to subscribe to the #1 most watched Raiders show in the world. We got over 116,000 subs for a reason. Why? You get free videos every day. I go live at least twice a week. Hell, this week, we've been live already 5 times. We're an interactive show, and I always want to give major shout-outs to guys like Buddy Bear, Daniel Jimenez, and everyone who literally showed up yesterday to party with us. More subs equals more video, so if you could, hit that subscribe button. I think you're going to like it around here. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we're going to get into the latest rumors going on around the offensive line, and I'll talk about joint practice at the end of today's show. But I got to give a major shout-out to today's sponsor, True Classic Tees. These T-shirts are made for normal-looking human beings like you and me. I don't know about y'all. I don't got a six-pack. I'm not shredded, and I don't look like that Under Armour model. But you know what? I look really damn good in this T-shirt because it's made for people like you and me. So you can get 25% off with promo code CHAT at trueclassictees.com/chat. Luckily for y'all, I'm going to put these links down in the comments and in the description of today's video, and I'm actually repping a nice little True Classic tee right now. So what we're going to be talking about is the latest news rumors. I'm talking about Darren Waller, Brandon Parker. We're going to look at Chase Garbers. We got a lot of stuff to dive into, and we're going to also talk about Alex Leatherwood. The first thing we're going to bring up here, though, on the Raiders Report is Chase Garbers, and it sounds like there is a chance that the UDFA quarterback out of Cal could literally play the entire game up against the Patriots on Friday. The fact that the Raiders traded away Nick Mullins has essentially solidified the fact that Stidham is going to be the QB2. So if you thought you were going to see Derek Carr in the preseason, because past years when Josh McDaniels worked with Tom Brady, Brady played in the preseason, nope, yet another preseason without Derek Carr. But it's okay. Sounds like he's tearing it up here in joint practices. Something that I do want to really hit on here, though, is an injury that it's kind of giving me the heebie-jeebies a little bit, and it's Darren Waller. McDaniels spoke today before practice happened, and he said that he's not worried about Waller's absence, but he didn't commit on Waller playing Week 1 against the Chargers. Week 1 against the Chargers is about 18 days away. That scares me a little bit. So the Raiders Report is about that interaction. The show is always about me giving my opinion, but also knowing that I go down in the comments. I see what you guys have to say. I might do it when I'm laying in bed. I might do it when I'm dropping a number 2. And if you're only concerned about Waller's injury is a 2, then spam that down in the comments section right now. When I think of concern, 1 is you're not worried at all. 10 is like you are going off your rocker. For me personally, man, this injury for Waller, he's battling a hamstring as it stands right now, and even though McDaniels isn't going to give you too much insight to it, I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to give it a 5 in terms of my injury concern level. And it's because, 1, Waller's one of the best tight ends in the league. I do think our offense right now, even without him, can be top 10. But with Waller, you start entering the conversation of best offense in the National Football League. And it's not only the fact that it's a hammy, and hammies are really difficult to be able to handle because there's no surgery. It's just rest, and they can pop at any given moment. But then you also have to go back and look at what Waller was dealing with last season. And I actually was hopping on the phone this morning when I walked into work. I talked to one of my buddies who's training to be a doctor. I guess that's what it's called, right? And I said, yo, talk to me about what an IT band and a hamstring can do. And he said, your IT band, it goes down like your side. And I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing, but it goes down your side, and it can actually connect to your hamstring. And if you have IT band issues, which is why Waller missed games last season, it can flare up and impact your hammy. The fact that now he's having hammy injuries after the IT band issues last year, it's why I'm going to give it a 5 overall. Now, in terms overall, y'all, we got more news. We got more updates to keep you guys here with on the Raiders Report. But if you've noticed, the lights are turned on. Do you know why the lights are turned on? Because today's sponsor, that's why. So major shout out to True Classic Tees, and I think these things are unbelievable. Like, you can see how stretchy they are. They fit me great. They hug my body well. If women are allowed to wear push-up bras, as far as I'm concerned, man, I'm allowed to wear True Classic Tees. And you guys can save 25% off by using promo code CHAT. How? At trueclassictees.com/chat. You can get the Essential 9-pack. You get essentially then it's $13.88 per t-shirt. And these are unbelievably comfortable t-shirts. So if you don't believe me, I'm going to be wearing them from here on out on the Raiders Report. I'm going to be wearing them on my free time, on my off days down here in Dallas, Texas. It is hot as hell. Hell, you might even see me this week out in California repping these bad boys. So go to trueclassictees.com/chat. It's going to get 25% off your order, but make sure you use the promo code chat. Sound good? Sure hope so. Let's talk about what Josh McDaniels had to say about Darren Waller. He's working his butt off. He knows he's going to be a big part of our team. And this is in terms of where the injury is and should people panic. I like the fact that Waller's working his butt off, and I agree. He's going to be a big part of the team, and there's a lot of people out there that are like, well, is he missing practice because of the contract? From what I understand, the contract is not the issue. It is the hamstring. So that is a little bit of a sigh of relief, if you will. But Waller, take it easy. We need you for the regular season, my dude. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, we're going to look at an update around Brandon Parker. So if you remember, about 2 weeks ago, I talked about how Parker's season was over. I heard that he had a torn tricep muscle, and the Raiders were eventually going to move him to the IR. Here's the issue now. There's been conflicting reports out there from people like The Athletic, from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, and McDaniels said today that he hopes to get Parker and Thayer Munford back sooner rather than later. If I hear sooner rather than later, I'm a believer that the expectation is he's going to come back before the season ends. However, and this is where it gets a little bit intriguing overall, Tashawn Reed on Twitter said that he reported last week that he was told that Brandon Parker was going to miss significant time. So now you have Josh McDaniels saying, all right, well, sooner rather than later. Then you got another reporter saying he's going to miss significant time. I was told he's going to miss significant time. Maybe, just maybe, Parker returns at the end of the season. What I do see happening, though, is remember last year when everyone was told Richie Incognito, and these are different situations, but Richie Incognito would play sooner rather than later. He never got out there quite on the field, and the injury just kept getting pushed back and back and back. Very similar to linebacker Nicholas Morrow. I believe that that's what McDaniels is doing here. He's really not giving up too much information because the Raiders won't release any info. A lot of the Raiders beat reporters will straight up tell you, they don't tell us anything. Why? Because McDaniels doesn't want to have to reveal anything. But I do think what you're going to see is a very telling sign when the Raiders have to make those roster cuts from 80 all the way down to 53. Do they keep Brandon Parker or not? Because if you don't keep him, then that tells me everything I need to know. He wasn't healthy. If you do keep him, then you might actually have a realistic shot at seeing him play this upcoming season. And if that's the case, if he goes out there on the field, I'll take my L. So other things that happened here around the Raiders today, Alex Leatherwood. There's reports out there, there's rumblings inside of the Raiders staff that, listen to this, look at this smile here, that Leatherwood could potentially move to offensive guard full-time. That feels nice. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I remember the first time I lost my virginity. This feels almost just as good. Alex Leatherwood moving to offensive guard. Thank the freaking Lord. Now, in terms of what does this do to other players, I think it actually really impacts Lester Cotton. And the reason why I say that is because I've been told that Dylan Parham, left guard, him and John Simpson, it sounds like that's going to be Parham's job to lose at left guard. But for Cotton, who's been predominantly the starting right guard for the Raiders in the preseason and even in these joint practices, even in training camp in general, which, by the way, training camp is now officially over, which is kind of cool. The regular season's right around the corner. This could mean bad things because if they do decide to kick Leatherwood into guard, I think Leatherwood's a good guard. And I think he's going to be able to compete with Lester Cotton. But when you heard the news right now here, maybe you heard a little bit earlier, I posted it on my Instagram. I put it out there on Twitter as well. What is your one-word reaction to this Leatherwood news? Alex Leatherwood potentially only playing as an offensive guard. My one-word reaction? Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Sorry, you might have had to turn down the volume on your TV, but that's how I feel. If you've watched this show before, how many freaking times have I said, Alex Leatherwood's not an offensive tackle. He doesn't have the footwork to make it work. He is an offensive guard. Thank the Lord. Hallelujah. That's my one-word reaction. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, we're going to look at joint practice news because the Raiders did compete with New England today, and I was a little worried it was going to get canceled because there was some early rain, and a lot of times if it rains, teams don't really want to get into the potential of injuring a player. But before I tell you about some of this training camp news or joint practice news, I told you all yesterday on my live show that I was going to be doing a giveaway, kinda. So for those of you that don't know what my dad looks like, this is what my dad looks like. And he's actually going to be going to the Raiders and Patriots game on Friday. Here's the thing. I gave my dad something, and the first 10 people that either recognize my dad, you want to take a picture with my dad, he really, really appreciates, I really appreciate everything that Raider Nation has ever done for me. You put food on my table, you put a roof over my head, so the least we could do is show you a little bit of thanks. So, the first 10 people to say hello to my dad at the Raiders and Patriots preseason game this Friday, he's going to give you something. So it's the first 10 people. Not going to tell you what it is. He's like, I don't know if anybody's going to notice me. If you want to ask him what the T-shirt means, it's a little thing that him and I have had literally since I was born. But I'm excited he gets to go to the game. I'm excited I get to see him on Saturday. And I haven't seen my dad in a few months. So I don't know if you could tell, but I'm definitely pretty hyped. Coming up next here again, Raiders joint practice news today. I don't have too much stuff because I made a phone call, and they're like, there's not as much to talk about today, but we'll get into the big stuff. In terms of the players that did not practice, we already talked about Darren Waller. Hollister wasn't out there. Brandon Parker, Parker Munford, both of those guys were not out there. Ronis Grasu, the backup center, he wasn't there. Tyler Lancaster, that's bad news for him that he's not out there. Quinterio Cole, the UDFA, and then Matthias Farley missed his second straight practice as well. In terms of players who went out there and I thought did really well today, Devontae Adams, it just sounds like him and Derek Carr are already in midseason form. And yes, it's the hype. I get it. But it sounded like Renfro was cooking dudes. Mac Hollins was straight up cooking dudes. And the fact that Devontae, this offense, by all reports, not just Raiders beat reporters, but Patriots beat reporters are saying this Raiders offense looks almost unstoppable even without Darren Waller. You put Darren Waller, that's like getting an ice cream sundae and putting the cherry on top as far as I'm concerned. And then Jonathan Abram. I'm excited, man. I watched Abram play up against Miami this past week, and I named him one of my winners because I was like, thank Lord Patrick Graham is using Abram the way that they should. Up near the line of scrimmage, letting him be athletic, letting him just go out there and get creative from top to bottom, and getting after the quarterback. And that's what you're seeing. But today, not only did Abram have an interception, he took it to the house. So good for Abram going out there and showing out. I really think him, Merrick, Deron Harmon are going to be your top 3 safeties out there. Before I go, if you haven't already, you can always hit me up on Twitter. You can always hit me up on Instagram. It's a friendly reminder that even though I try to make these videos all the time, you did get 2 videos today. Why? Because of the more subs, because you guys have been rocking and rolling with me on my live shows. So if you haven't already, seriously, hit me up on IG, hit me up on Twitter. Make sure you're staying up to date on everything going on around the Silver and Black. And if people want to send me, whatever it may be, those messages, I'm always down for it. So shout out to the nation. I will be making another video for y'all tomorrow. I can't wait for our watch party on Friday, and I'm going to be seeing a lot of y'all for Graphic Raiders Week 0 kickoff party in California on Saturday. But for me, from producer Petey, shout out to the nation. I'm out of here.